All right, welcome in everybody. My name is Andrew and this is Rocket Future. We're out here at the southern tip of South Padre Island, here at Isla Park, with of course some live views of SpaceX's Starbase facility behind us. Today is potentially a big day for the full stack vehicle. We got Booster 10 and Ship 28 sitting on top of it in configuration for a potential wet dress rehearsal today. Now I do have a couple questions regarding what the testing might be today, but we're going to go over those things here shortly. But for now, I'd like to welcome y'all in. Welcome in everybody. Welcome in Robert. Welcome in Denny's, Yazada, Zolt. The Space Junkie community is here. Jimatech is here. Tony is here. Appreciate y'all very much for stopping in. So like I said, there's a couple questions I have regarding what we're about to see here today. First of all, I don't believe there's a marine safety information bulletin posted, which generally we see those when they're about to load the full stack with its fuels, liquid oxygen and methane. I don't see any indication of that today. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't see a full wet dress rehearsal, but that is one question I have about what we're seeing today. Is it possible that they just load it up with liquid nitrogen and do a full cryo on the full stack? That's possible as well, but we're just going to have to wait and see. In the meantime, let me know if you can hear and see me okay. I'll check in with comments here shortly. We're running some new equipment here as well, so let me know how everything looks. Let me know how everything sounds. It's kind of windy out here today. I don't yet have a windsock or wind cover for the mic yet, so let me know how it is. But so far, I think it's going to be decent. So viewing conditions here are decent right now. As you can see, it's not the clearest picture, but I think it's good enough that we'll be able to see it when that frost line grows on the booster and also ship. So keep your eyes peeled over there. I don't think we are imminent for prop load into the vehicle. We have not seen the OLM vent start, and generally speaking, when that OLM vent starts, that indicates that they're chilling the lines going to the orbital launch mount. And that process takes a little bit before they actually start fueling the vehicles. So I think we're at least minimum half hour, 45 minutes out before fueling actually starts. I do want to check in. I've been setting things up here, and I'm also working in parallel, so I'm going to be jumping on and off of commentary from time to time. But I do want to check in to see what has changed since I started setting everything up. Maybe OLM vent could be starting by now. I'm not entirely sure, so give me a few moments here in a second, and I'll check in on those things. But again, welcome in everybody. Again, my name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We're hoping to see some good testing here at Starbase today. And if they do a full wet dress rehearsal today, that's awesome, and that's a big step forward to the launch opportunity. Hopefully, early March is what we're looking at right now, but subject to change. So welcome in everybody. I'm going to jump off of commentary here for a second. I'm going to check in with chat, make sure everybody says everything looks and sounds okay. And I'm going to also check in what the update is with what's going on over there. So stay tuned. Hopefully some cool testing happening today, and we'll see what happens. Thanks all. Tony said sound started and dropped halfway through than normal. Okay, I'll check and see why that could have been. In the meantime, let's go full cam here so y'all can see what's happening. Welcome, Dennis. While I was driving in, crew were set to the ship quick disconnect for some adjusting, says Tony. Gotcha. That's why they went back to the pad. Yeah, I didn't start the stream earlier because I was waiting for the testing to start or to look imminent, and I did see those cars go back to the pad, so that must have been what they were working on there. But still, I wouldn't call us quite at the point of being imminent for this test yet, since we don't see that OLM vent going. So we're just going to have to hold tight and see what happens. I think the Pope vent has since stopped. Actually, there is one other thing I wanna mention to y'all. So let me jump back in front of the camera here. So the other thing that I'm questioning regarding today's testing is, so they had a potential backup road closure for tomorrow. That has changed from potential to scheduled. So that seems to indicate that SpaceX is going to use the road closure tomorrow. So my question is, maybe they had some delays this morning ahead of the wet dress today, and maybe they're doing some other testing. Maybe they're just getting the GSE going and the tank farm going. And maybe it's possible that they don't actually go for the full wet dress today and try again for tomorrow. But I don't know that for sure. We're still anticipating seeing some testing here today, but we're going to take a look. We're going to see what happens with the tank farm and all the venting, and that should give us some good indication of whether or not they're going to continue moving forward on today's wet dress rehearsal. Again, that big sign that they are moving forward is that OLM vent, which I do not currently see. We're going to keep a close eye on that. So between the fact that there's no MSIB that I could find, tomorrow's road closure being switched to scheduled, and the fact that there's no OLM vent yet, just makes me question what today's testing is going to be and if it's still going to take place. But I figured we would go live anyway, and we'll see what happens. For all I know, that OLM vent could start any minute, and we could just get underway for a wet dress here. Again, I don't know if they're really going to load the actual fuels into the vehicle. I haven't heard about a lot of methane trucks making it to the pad. I just don't know if they're going to actually load this thing with methane today without a marine safety information bulletin. Could be wrong, but let's just hold out and see. So we got a little bit of a breeze right now. Let me know if y'all can hear the breeze. If it sounds really bad, if it sounds really windy, just give me an indication. And like I said, I'm going to get a wind cover for this mic soon. And Tony is saying the Orbital tank farm has started and hippos are starting to frost over. That is a good indication. Welcome everybody tuning in from Hungary. Welcome. Attila says hello from Budapest. Rawanka is here from Hungary as well. Zoltan and Sabi. Welcome in everybody. That Pope stack is starting to go again there. Like I said, I am also working at the moment, so I'm multitasking here, and I will be stepping away from time to time. I am seeing my volume is just slightly a little low, so if you're hearing this, you may want to adjust your volume down because I'm about to increase the volume of my mic here just a little bit. So just a warning, I am increasing the volume of my mic. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. All right, we're going to leave it like that. Zoltan with the super chat, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Again, all of the support that comes through on this channel is going to go right back into the channel and help make the channel a bigger and better place and provide better and higher quality streams. So I appreciate that so much for that support, Zoltan. Thank you. So checking everything out, things are looking pretty good with the stream. Again, we're using some new equipment here, so I'm going to make sure I watch the stream back later on and just check to see how everything worked. That way I can make adjustments for our next time, but we're slowly phasing into some better equipment here that hopefully will be more reliable and higher quality. So that's good. So yeah, what does today's testing mean? So if they are able to complete a wet dress rehearsal, my first question will be, are they using liquid nitrogen, or are they actually using the liquid oxygen and the methane? If they are just using liquid nitrogen, then I feel like we'll see another wet dress rehearsal using the real fuels closer to launch. And how does the test from today go? If they do load it up regardless of what fuels they use, how did that go? Or were there any issues? Were there any stuck valves? Are we going to have to see any modifications to either Ship 28 or Booster 10 as a result of this test? Again, that will remain to be seen. But if everything goes well today, just hypothetically, say they're using real fuels today and they use liquid, if they use methane, liquid oxygen, are they going to load them partially? If so, we'll probably see another full wet dress rehearsal at some point. But if they completely load the vehicle up today, which I'm not necessarily expecting, with liquid oxygen and methane, then again, that is huge. That could completely check off the wet dress rehearsal requirement prior to launch. And then at that point, wet dress rehearsal is done. Both vehicles are ready to go. I think that if we were going to see an additional static fire of ship 28, they probably would have done it before stacking, but I'm not positive there. So that's possible that we could see some additional testing there. But if wet dress goes well, then we could start to look at when the SpaceX submits the required information for the last investigation based off of the last launch. In order for FAA to approve that and then give the license modification for SpaceX to go ahead for the next launch attempt. And we could see that happen just as early as the first couple weeks of March if everything goes according to plan. So that's great. This is a major step towards that. So we're going to hope that they do fully load this thing today with the fuels. That is a massive check off the checklist prior to launch. So again, we'll have to just wait and see what they do today to see if that's going to be the case or not. But in the meantime, let's just hang out here and enjoy it. Beautiful. I actually don't know if I would call it a beautiful day, but it's a great day down here at Isla Blanca. It's overcast, overcast and a bit breezy, but there's no complaints from me. I'm not getting roasted by the sun, nor are there any mosquitoes or anything out here today. So consider me happy. Looking back over at the booster right now and the ship, the full stack, it looks like the ground support is still venting. I believe we've heard that the hippos are on chill down. We see that Pope stack going, and I'm going to keep checking in to see if the orbital tank or the orbital launch mount actually starts to vent or not, indicating that chill down. So I'll check in on that. Welcome, Joseph from Hungary. Yeah, it looks like that Pope stack is going. Can't quite see, but I don't think the OLM vent is going quite yet. Not only are we currently live on YouTube, but we are also live on X, on Facebook, on Twitch, and Kick as well. So if you're watching on any of those platforms, thank you for joining us. I do want to let you know that we do not check the chat on any of those other platforms at the moment. So if you'd like to interact and ask any questions or anything, come on over to the YouTube channel, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Eventually, we will incorporate the chat and the comments from all of the platforms, and I will respond to everybody in all the platforms. But right now, that's not how it's set up. So like I said, if you want to come over and interact and chat or anything, you can come right over on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube and you notice that you can't chat, it is likely because I'm pretty sure I have this stream set to subscriber only chat. Now that doesn't cost anything. There's nothing like that. You just have to sign in to your YouTube account and click subscribe. That doesn't even necessarily mean you're going to get notifications. You can shut notifications if you want. The subscription is free, and that's just kind of to keep spam out of the chat. So if you're trying to chat and you can't, that's probably why. So just go to check that you're logged in and you've hit the subscribe button, and then you should be able to interact in our chat here. Denny's with the super chat. Thank you very much. Denny says, thanks for the stream, Andrew. Have a nice day. Go Rocket Future. # Hungry, Team Space, and Space Junkie. Thank you very much to you and the Space Junkie community. Lots of changes happening over here at Starbase in general. If you've seen any pictures, there's a lot of facility changes. All of the temporary tents that they had set up at the production site have been taken down. to be replaced with the Star Factory, and the Star Factory is going up nicely. It it's really looking like they're making permanent facilities now, and not just kind of like the temporary structures that they needed to set up to get Starbase up and running quickly. And over at the launch site, we have new signage. We have that Gateway to Mars sign. We have the new SpaceX sign, and again, more walls and everything going up, making everything look a little bit more permanent and less like, as we know, SpaceX worked quickly and fast, fast and efficiently to get this place up and running so they could start testing Starship. But now they're really putting that work and time into the facilities itself, which is cool to see. On the left-hand side of the booster, you can see those 4 tanks. There used to be 8, 4 and 4 kind of stacked in front of each other. 2 of those are now gone. So there's only 6 tanks that remain on the vertical tank farm there. More tanks have been installed horizontally on the launch site. And I think eventually we're going to see most of, if not all of those vertical tanks go in favor of those horizontal tanks. The venting you're seeing is still the what we call the Pope stack, which isn't necessarily an indication that the process is moving forward, but it is an indication that they haven't completely. It's kind of an indication that they haven't really stopped, so that's good. But no forward progress here yet on today's testing since we've started stream. Yeah.
How do you stream on all the different platforms at once?
There's a couple of different ways to do it. What I personally do is I stream by default to YouTube through this setup here, and then at home I have another computer set up that receives the YouTube stream, and then I use a software called Restream that will basically take that screen and then you just put the credentials into the rest of your platforms, and it'll go out to all of them. Yep.
Oh, interesting.
There's Restream and StreamYard.
I imagined you had this like 4 different servers going here.
Luckily, not. This thing right back here. Yep. This will power everything for like 8 to 12 hours, depending on what I'm running. So.
Pushes it to YouTube, streams to YouTube live, and then he has a computer at home and takes something called Restream, pushes it to.
Yep. All the rest of the platforms. Yep.
Made for that, basically.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, man.
And then I have a computer that's mounted in the Jeep, and it's just a computer running everything pretty much. So.
Although your monitor stand is.
Yeah, this is temporary. This will be replaced with something more permanent.
Use it with this tech.
Yeah.
Arm.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. We'll figure something out there.
It's kind of a bookends.
Yep.
So it's adjusted the time.
Okay. Yeah, I figured as much. That OLM vent hasn't even started yet, so.
140.
Yeah. Okay.
The time
Cool. Not too bad.
What?
to start.
Why the 1 minute delay on
Um.
YouTube? I mean, we were sitting there.
Yeah, I was
And
checking
we're
to
like,
see
man,
what
he's
it
still talking a long time.
Gotcha.
We're on there.
It's.
About a minute.
I'm surprised it's actually. I do know why it's that long. So when you start a YouTube stream, you have 3 latency options to pick from. There's normal, there's low, and there's ultra low. I think that's how it works. And if I stream from like home or something with like a constant broadband connection, I'll stream on ultra low, and then it'll just work fine. But using normal latency out here, it helps. From what I understand, it's supposed to help from buffering if there's small drops going on with the network.
More time to.
Yep. Allows it to
Makes
kind of
it
catch
easier
itself
then?
up. Yeah, exactly. So
That's very good.
Yeah, you're doing great. That's a
Yeah,
nice setup you got.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So you do this on your own for fun?
Yeah, we have some support from the community, so it's helping me kind of fund some of it. Definitely still operating at a loss, but if I keep working at it, maybe at some point I'll get closer to breaking even, or even if I made a few bucks off of it, I'd be happy. But for now, we're just gonna see what we can do, and it's mainly the whole purpose of being down here is to document what's happening with Starbase and Starship, and if I was able to make money off of it, that means I could do this full time because I do have another job. Making money off of this means for me that I can spend more time dedicating to documenting, which would be amazing.
What do you do full time?
I do some IT work for a telehealth company.
You do that out of your house? Or you...
Yeah, so it's a remote position, so I can kind of do it from anywhere as long as I'm online and working. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'm grateful for it, for sure.
So this is your hobby, hope to be your profession.
Yep. I don't know if it'll ever be possible to be full time. There's a couple people that are able to pull it off full time, but you know, the only way I could see that really happening is if Starship really turns out to be what they want it to be, and like the interest in what's happening with it just blows up like exponentially. Then it's possible, but otherwise, you know, I'm just gonna keep building it as big as I can and
You
go
know,
from
it's
there.
interesting how many people don't know what it is.
Yeah, true. It is.
I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I go to some conferences for some stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'll have my son do some presentations or something like, and they don't even know what SpaceX is.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't know what Starship is. I
Yeah.
mean, even people like you would expect. Who was it you were talking to the other night? Like,
An engineer
oh, an engineer, yeah, like
who I thought would
totally
maybe
know.
be interested in that or follow it.
Yeah, it's interesting that they don't.
How did you choose your cameras?
Um,
Are those the same camera but one with a lens, or two different things?
two different.
Oh, okay.
So
Looks like it's a huge lens.
yeah. So that one, actually, I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific rhyme or reason. Just kind of found the one that has the feature set that I found the most useful. Now this one's brand new. I don't know whether I'm gonna keep it or not. This is actually the first stream I'm using, and I'm noticing that the quality might not be up to what I'm hoping for. But I still have to, you know, fiddle with settings and everything. But I chose this one specifically because it can be powered by and send the video signal through one cable. So for me, I go for the highest quality I can for the simplest setup that I can.
What's the connection?
USB-C.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
single USB-C powers and data.
Yep.
Nice. What about that one?
HDMI, and then that's got a really big battery in it. In a worst case scenario, I can just run a cable to power it if it gets low on battery.
What camera is that?
It's a Panasonic X1500. Or, yeah, X1500.
This is,
PTZ
made for
optics.
streaming, or-
It's not made for this type of streaming, but it's made to be, you know, it's kind of multi-purpose. But I think they expect people to kind of use it, kind of like security cam type stuff,
Oh, okay.
or in like a studio as like a reference monitor or something, or a reference camera or something. So,
Pro.
yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
Thank you. So relatively, look, we're hoping they do some testing today. If it goes well, it won't be super exciting to watch from here, but it's an important test.
They're gonna fill it with fuel and put it in the cryogenic. Yeah, they're gonna fuel it one. It's gotten delayed by about an hour, but about 140, I think is what I heard.
Nice.
And then
Fill it up to about an hour.
and then they'll basically run it through everything except for doing fire. Exactly. All right. Well, maybe we'll go run.
Okay.
Here's the car key. That'll be my
All right, just in case anybody is just joining, I just want to welcome you in. My name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. Live views of Starship and Starbase. We're hoping for a full wet dress rehearsal today. Checking in with people in the community and seeing some updates. And I think we're probably still on. So just hold tight and let's see if we start to see that OLM vent start in a little bit here. But I do think that there's some indications that we are going to continue forward on the test today. So far, I think things are looking positive based on some recent updates. So I'll keep you all updated, and we'll go from there. Welcome in, Gabor. Welcome in, Catalan from Hungary as well. Yazada is here. Yazada, thank you for being a member of this channel. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for being here, Yazada.
Okay, I'm gonna go run.
Enjoy. So that OLM vent that we're keeping an eye on, so that's kind of back near that booster quick disconnect. So if you follow, start at the tip of the ship, Starship S28. Follow the tip down to the right, down the right side of S28. You make it to the grid fins on the booster. Keep following it down past the stringers between the two tanks on the booster. Keep following that down. And once you get to the base of the booster, you see that kind of big lump that comes out the right side of the orbital launch mount, that big black little area on the right bottom of the booster. That is the booster quick disconnect. Just under that, or on the side of that, is where we want to see that vent start. Again, that's the orbital launch mount venting, which is part of the line chill down process before they start loading propellants in. So we'd want to see that happen here pretty soon. Might be hard to tell from this angle, so I'm going to keep an eye up on other streams and other community updates to see if that vent starts at some point without me noticing. But again, some recent updates do kind of indicate that they are going to continue for the test today so far. That could change, but we're going to keep our eyes on because we think we are still a go. Just watching the stream back here on my phone, it does appear that the commentary camera is a little soft on the focus. I'm going to keep trying to work on that while we're hanging out here. But it's definitely soft on the focus. It doesn't look as crisp as I'd like. Now, that's one of our new pieces of equipment. So we're gonna fiddle with those settings. We're going to try to get that right. And we'll see how it goes. And worst case scenario, if this camera doesn't live up to the quality that I hope to bring you, then we'll make sure we return this and try something else. But I did some tests with it at home, and it actually looked good. So I'm not entirely sure why out on the field here we're seeing a different quality, but that's how things go with production, and you know, the difference between testing and then actually out in the field. So yeah. We'll see what happens. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not the quality that we want. The focus is too soft. Jim Attack is here. Says, Andrew, I wrote to you in Discord. I don't know if you saw it, but we should talk about IFT3 soon. Absolutely, let's do that. Let's make a plan to discuss the Space Junkie microphone plan for IFT3. Looks like we probably have a couple weeks to get that all sorted, and to kind of go over some of those notes that we had at the end of IFT2. So sounds good. Let's make sure we plan that. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Depending on testing for the rest of the week, I could probably do one of the evenings. I forget. Yeah, I don't know. Ping me again in that message, and let me know your best availability over the course of the next 5 days or so, and then I'll try to find something that matches one of your time slots there. Sounds good to me. Space Girl Falcon is here. Welcome, Space Girl Falcon. It's great to see you. Thank you for being a member of this channel, Space Girl Falcon. Your support helps us a lot. I'm going to try something here. Actually, I can do this without messing with the stream too much. I'm going to go to studio mode. I'm going to actually move my commentary camera. And we're going to try to do some manual focus on this and see if we can fix this. T. Evans NC is here. Thank you as well for being a member of this community, Thomas. All right, we're going to my commentary camera. Andras with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Andras, for that. I appreciate you very, very much. That's a major contribution to this channel, and I think some folks that are watching that just received a membership from you will be very thankful to you as well. Looks like Aiden C., Tommy Gaming, Solt, Ryan, and Zoltan were all gifted a membership from Andras Veg. Thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. All right, let's go full on the commentary camera and try to focus this thing manually. AB says, saw your setup on South Padre and thought I'd leave a comment. Keep the coverage up. I run full stack Starship checkouts and aft flap integration in high bay. That is really, really awesome. I really appreciate you stopping in to make that comment. We appreciate all the hard work that you put in over there. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. And yes, to Mars. To Mars. That's awesome to hear. Thank you so much for commenting, AB. That is that's really awesome. That boosts my spirit, and it's awesome to hear from you. Thank you. Detroit Mission Control is in the house. Detroit, welcome in, Detroit. It's good to see you. That's awesome. Tell him I said thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate that. What's the breaking news? So I just wanted to step in front of commentary here again and just welcome in a lot more people showing up. So appreciate you all popping in to check it out. Still waiting to see the Wet Dress Rehearsal potentially start on the ship and booster today. So we're going to hold tight and wait for that OLM vent to start and hopefully start seeing that chill down process and then fueling of Booster 10 and Ship 28. Detroit, I saw your question, what's the breaking news? So I put breaking news in there just because I want to kind of emphasize that when I go live with these streams, they're for a specific event. So we are going live with the news that Starship Full Stack is going for its Wet Dress Rehearsal today. That's a little bit of I think, beneficial and productive clickbait. As y'all are aware, I stay really far away from clickbait and like over-sensationalized headlines and that type of stuff. Try to keep things technical and to the books. But breaking news just adds a little bit of that urgency to anybody that might want to click. And help us bring in some people to get them excited about Starship. So whether or not that works, I don't know. But I added that breaking news in there to just emphasize the fact that we have a breaking event that's happening right now, and that would be the Wet Dress Rehearsal that we're expecting to start here soon. As opposed to doing, a general Starbase stream where we're down there at Starbase and just showing off what's happening at Starbase and with Starship and on a general high level. But this is an event that's happening now, so we added that breaking news into the title of the stream. That's exciting. So if this thing happens today, and if they're able to complete a successful Wet Dress Rehearsal today, we'll see some forward progress towards the next launch attempt somewhere, hopefully in the next month or so. even sooner potentially. So thanks for that question, and thanks for joining, everybody. Huge shout out to Andras again for the gifted memberships. Thank you again, everybody. Jamie says, by what time should test be over? Well, we can kind of hypothesize and use some speculation here. But I would say we should expect to see, if the test is going to happen, I expect it to start hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so. Let's just say that they start by 1:45 or 2 o'clock. When that OLM vent starts, it's usually, I don't know, anywhere from a half hour to an hour before they start actually fueling the vehicle. So that puts us at 2:45 or 3. And then maybe it'll take an hour or so to do fueling, so that's 4. So we could be here until 4 or later, depending on the timeline, and if it shifts at all. Detroit says, "Okay, I understand your reasoning for the breaking news." Yeah, hopefully it's not too clickbaity, but I think it's okay. I think it's accurate personally. The seagulls are out in force today. There's a ton of them around. So we are continuing to see some of those GSE vents going, the Pope stack and some other venting. If anybody's tuning into any of the other feeds that are going on out there with a close-up view, let me know if you start to see any of that OLM venting before I do. Not only are we looking for that OLM vent, but we're also looking for a tower vent, because again, not only are we expecting them to be fueling the booster today, but we're also expecting them to be fueling the ship as well. So just like we see that OLM vent, meaning that they are chilling down the lines that go to the OLM, which will then go into the booster quick disconnect and into the booster, we also expect them to be chilling down the lines that go to the ship. And as we know, about halfway up that tower is the ship quick disconnect arm, and that is where all the umbilicals go, that fuel and power and data for the ship. And there is also vents from there that would indicate that that is likely under chill down as well. So it does look like the volume of those vapors towards the bottom of the OLM and in the GS ground support equipment is in general seem to be increasing. So hopefully that's an accurate sign that we're pushing forward here. No problem. Is it pronounced Jamie? Or Jame? Or is it Jamie? Let me know how you pronounce your name. Actually, not too bad viewing conditions. It, we get some better viewing conditions when it's not as overcast, I feel like, but we don't have a ton of fog layer. There's definitely some moisture in the air that you can tell that we're not getting that super crystal clear picture that we get sometimes, but we can see those chines pretty clearly. So we got some pretty good view here, and I think some sun is making it through down to the pad right now, because some of those vapors and that venting is really being lit up by the sun right now, which is kind of cool to see. Prop load should be a bit faster this time around. Vehicles will be full much sooner than 4 p.m. if the pad starts on time. Awesome. Thank you for that information. We appreciate that very much. I'll be really curious to see how quickly they can get through prop load. That'll be really cool to see if there's a big difference now. Thank you. And Tony also is thanking AB for the info. Yeah, we appreciate it very much. As always, if you look to the right of the tower, if you kind of follow those dunes over to the right, you see a little silver vehicle sticking out of the ground there. That is Starhopper, of course, affectionately known as Hoppy. That is the first vehicle they built and flew down here. So they installed one Raptor engine on that vehicle. Looks like a small little water tower down there, and they actually flew that thing. If I remember right, I think it flew pretty much. The tower was not there at the time, but I think it kind of flew close to as tall as the tower is high. So that little thing actually flew and landed back down at Starbase there. Really, really cool. Wish I was around for that one. That was before my time down here. Again, we're on the southern tip of South Padre Island at a beautiful park called Isla Blanca Park. And as you can see, there's a body of water in front of us. That is the shipping channel that goes to the port of Brownsville. And there's plenty of boats that always go back and forth between the Gulf and up towards the port of Brownsville. So we always get those boats coming by our shots, which personally I like a lot. It gives a little bit of an ambiance and gives you kind of a picture of what it's like down here, other than just the shot of the Starship. I think my buddy Ted is watching. Ted, if you're out there listening in, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you very much. I do have a goal to be, when I'm doing these streams, to be on camera more often, just to be a little bit more personable, and to when I'm answering questions, so you can kind of see body language and everything that goes with the answers as well. And I will try to do that, but like I said, I am also working, so a lot of times when you're hearing me answer these questions, I'm working in the background on some other stuff. Andra says, Hoppy, the grandmother of all starships. That is the truth for sure. Tony says, N2 venting through those next vent tubes overhanging the blast wall. Venting through those next vent. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. That Pope stack continues to go. So I can jump back in front of camera here and talk a little bit about what we should expect to see. So if test does begin commencing, like it sounds like it's going to shortly, I'll continue to let you know how we will actually see that it started. So we've already mentioned a bunch of times. I'll just quickly recap. We should see a specific vent start on the OLM. We'll see that start, and then we'll see that stop. Once that stops, that should indicate that SpaceX is starting to load the vehicle with propellant and fuel. And at that point, we can tell how Phil, oh Jesus, I can't talk right now. How full the vehicle has gotten. There we go. All these F words. But basically, because of those fuels, because they are so cold, those cryogenic temperatures and this liquid oxygen and the methane, we actually can see basically the line of where those fuels are in both the booster and the ship. Ship's a little bit harder, especially from this angle because of those heat shield tiles. But on the booster, we will start to see a frost line grow up the vehicle. And everything under that line, the whole exterior of the booster will be frosty. So it'll look bright white compared to the silver that you see of the stainless steel on the booster now. And the higher that gets, that means the higher that the booster is filled. Like I said, a little bit harder on the ship. I'll have to check the camera again to see. I feel like we might be able to see a bit of the silver of the ship, and if that's the case, we should start to see those lines grow as well. Pretty sure we usually do. So that will be a good indication once they get started of how far into the test that they are. So that's good news. That we'll actually be able to kind of tell from there. Again, no ignition or anything expected today. It's a tongue twister, though. Fuel, fill, all that stuff.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. This one's not on.
Didn't mean to when earlier I was
No.
unaware of myself.
No, you're perfect. This is a public space. You're all good. Someone just politely apologized for walking past our cameras, but I don't even think we saw because we have one camera up higher than head level, and then we didn't have our commentary camera on. But I obviously don't mind when people are passing by. This is a public area. This is a park for them to enjoy just as much as we are enjoying. So I actually almost feel like I am, if anything, in the way of them and not them being in the way of me. So. But we're just basically taking up one parking space here. That's about it. (1:36 p.m.) I do hope to start to see some indications that the testing is kicking off in about 10 minutes here. Nightbot is doing a good job at reminding, please don't forget to follow us on whatever social media platform you like the most. We can be found on all of the social media. At The Rocket Future is our tag on most of those sites. And you can find a link to our X or our Twitter account in the chat right now. That's where we're most active. That's where we're posting the most updates and when we're going to go live and all that stuff. We also have a Discord and all that good stuff and a Patreon, so... if you have any questions about any of those things, feel free to drop those questions in chat, and we can do our best to try to answer those for you. But yeah, not only are we live on YouTube, but we're live on a lot of social media platforms right now. So if you have any questions, let me know. Not only that, but I do appreciate any support on the channel. Not only the ways that you can support us monetarily with memberships and that type of stuff, but anything at all helps the channel. Whether you subscribe, whether you're active in chat, whether you're commenting, you're liking, all of these things help us a lot. So thank you so much for interacting with the channel in any way that you can. They all help a lot. Tony says, I think they're in pre-chill of the... I still think they're in pre-chill of the OTF yet. Gotcha. They should be doing some tests today. Nothing that will be super exciting from here, though. Yeah, but it's an important one, though. No problem. Someone was just yelling over to me about what's happening today, and I'm sure you could hear me, but I was like, there's a test today, but it shouldn't be super exciting. For most, this is an exciting event for us, us that are following Starship and following Starbase. And we know what this test indicates. We know what this test means. We know it's a big step towards the next launch attempt, and we know how important each launch attempt of this vehicle is. But for a lot of folks that don't necessarily know what's happening with Starship and know what's happening at Starbase and aren't necessarily as involved as a lot of us are, just seeing the vehicle get a little bit white and a little bit frosty probably isn't the most exciting for them. So I try to tell people that don't know what's happening that we're not expecting to see any ignition today. We're not expecting to hear anything today. We're just expecting a full load of the vehicle, which is very exciting for us. But if you don't really know what's going on, it's not the most. And Tony says, and hit that like button. Yeah, thank you very much. That would help us a lot. Go ahead and hit that like button. There's a reason why you hear all of us YouTubers say that type of stuff. Not that I consider myself a YouTuber. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I do or not. That's just a weird word. But there's a reason why we all say that, because it helps a lot, and it's free. I'm interested in hearing everybody in chat's opinion on when we will expect to see a launch. If you have a date in mind, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Let me know in chat what date you think we're going to see IFT-3. Let me know when you think Starship is going to take off from here at Starbase again. And we'll see who's the closest when the time comes. Tony says, from my distance in today's clouds, it'll be hard for you to distinguish fill height on the booster. Definitely harder than some days, but I think it'll be pretty clear still to us. But we'll find out. Thomas thinks mid-March. I think we'll still see a pretty clear frost line, but we shall see. We shall see. At first, it'll be kind of tough towards the bottom, but once it gets up there a little bit, it should be all right. No launch today. They're doing some testing over there today, but nothing super exciting from here at least. Yeah. Yeah, it's an important test they're doing, a big milestone ahead of launch. So for like a lot of people that are following this closely, that I'll be streaming to, they'll think it's like a big exciting test and stuff. From here, like the booster, which is silver, will just look white. that's pretty much it. But it's an important one. Probably this could shift, but first couple weeks of March looks pretty good. Okay. So that could push, but yeah. Who knows with technology? Exactly. Right? The weather. Yep. Yeah, there's regulations and all that stuff too. So, yep. So hope appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, no problem. Thomas says mid-March. Space Girl Falcon says March 15th. AB says 3 weeks maybe. Depends on the fish people. I know what you're talking about. Absolutely. That's 3 weeks is kind of where I'm thinking. 3 or 4 weeks. So it sounds like we should all be in the right time span as long as no surprises come. Will says February 42nd. All right, so how many days are there in February? Let's figure this out. I think there's 29 this year, right? So 29. So math 29. What would that put us on? March. I don't know. I can't do the math on the spot like that. I'm trying to figure out where that would put us in March. It's relatively easy math, but I'm also trying to run the stream, so I'm like, I can't even add 2 plus 2 right now. OLM Vent says Thomas. Can we confirm? Do we see OLM vent happening? Oh yeah, I think we see a little OLM vent. Let me jump back in front of the camera and give us a little bit of an update here. Close to March 42nd. All right. So we have a small update here, folks. We just heard from Thomas in our chat. He said that the OLM vent has started. Not super great viewing conditions from here to see that OLM vent start right now, but I did quickly check on the NSF feed, and we do see a little bit of venting coming from that OLM vent. So that's awesome. So what we're going to see is that vent slowly start to increase volume, and eventually it's going to start basically just pouring out this vapor and actually go into what we call a waterfall mode. That the community just likes to call it that based on just the fact that it looks like it's pouring out of there like a waterfall. And then after that point, if that stops, then we're going to take a close eye on the bottom of the booster and hope to see a thin frost line start to grow. And then eventually that frost line will continue to grow up the length of the booster, and that is an indication that they are fueling the booster. So this is good. This is great. We're right on time based on what we've been talking about here the last few minutes. So it looks like they're going for it so far. We'll have to wait and see if they get through a full wet dress today, but right now they are heading in the right direction for that to happen. So if you're tuning in, if you kind of have us on the background, you're doing other things, you still have some time to kind of hang out, chill, leave this on the background for a bit. You have time to do whatever you need to do, go make some food, go get a coffee. We probably still have a little bit before they start fueling this thing up. So unless there's major procedural changes with the chill down and the length of time the chill down takes, we should still have quite a few, 20, 30, 40 minutes before they actually start fueling. But from what we've heard today in chat from AB, it sounds like maybe once they start filling, then it's actually going to go a lot quicker than we're used to seeing. So I'm really curious about that. I'm really excited to see the difference today if there's a big noticeable difference in the timing there. So that's really cool. That's really exciting. So yeah. Stay tuned. Chines are venting too. Will. 3 weeks. Tony says, as everyone is starting, first indication of chill down at the OLM. Heck yeah. As everyone is stating, that was my my reading comprehension. First indication of chill down at the OLM. Awesome. Moving forward, folks. Next steps of the test happening. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Hi.
Good.
My English is very bad.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. And enjoying Starship?
Only for
Yes.
China come here only for.
Only for that. Nice. A long way. That's awesome. Very cool. Exciting.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's it's fun stuff.
Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, good thing to mention there. The smoke that we're seeing on my camera, that venting that's happening in front of the OLM, that is not the OLM vent that we're talking about. A lot of days, especially on clear days, we do see that OLM start. Again, that's behind that booster quick disconnect that we see at the base of the booster. We do see that sometimes, and when it starts to really get going, we may be able to see that from here. The small amount of the OLM venting is occurring on the other side of the mount ring. Exactly. So it's on the far side of that booster disconnect.
Busy right now.
Oh, I can talk. What's up?
Yeah.
How's it going?
So you seem to be informed about it. Do you know where the first launch date might be?
Right now, it could change, but right now, first couple weeks of March look pretty promising.
So far away.
Yeah, a couple weeks at least. So,
Okay.
yep. So are you leaving soon?
I have until the end of March.
End of March, I think.
I came from Sweden to see this stuff, and
I
I was hoping like maybe in February.
Yeah, me too. But I think if you're here until end of March, you have a pretty good shot of seeing it. Pretty good shot, yeah. Have you already been over there and everything?
I haven't. Like, I just came here.
Awesome,
Today,
awesome.
And they had closed the roads there.
Yeah. Tomorrow the road's probably closed too. But at a certain point tonight they'll reopen, and then tomorrow night they'll reopen. Definitely make sure you go over there. You have to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good, good, good. Awesome.
Traveled far to get there.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Did
So
you come
what's
just?
What's your channel?
It's called Rocket Future.
Do you go on X or on YouTube?
Everywhere, everywhere. Yep.
Rocket Future.
Yep.
I'll check it out.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
You're living. This is your life.
Kinda. I have another job and stuff, but just trying to build the channel up and everything. So, yeah, yeah, and having fun while I'm doing it. Fun.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
very cool.
Do you know what they're testing today?
Hopefully, wet dress rehearsal.
What does
So,
that mean? They tend to fill it up. The tanks fill it up with
Yep.
tanks. And
yeah, basically, they're kind of acting as if they were going to launch to practice all the procedures, and then they stop like right before launch. Basically, it's like a practice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Yep.
see. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How long have you been here now?
2 years.
Here.
Today, what time is it?
Like 2 o'clock.
A couple hours. Couple hours.
Okay, but you live close by then.
Yeah, 15 minutes or so. So.
Wet dress rehearsal.
Yep, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cheers. I'm Joe.
Thank you, Andrew. Nice to meet you, Joe.
Andrew.
We'll see you around.
Sure. Is this your spot? This is where you report from when you come here.
A lot of times. I'll be one of these spots here. You'll see me.
See you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tower venting has started. Ooh, you should be able to see that soon. The tower venting is just about blinking light. Above blinking light. Yeah, we see it. All right. Sick. I just got excited. I'm excited. Okay, let me inform you about what we're talking about here. So, as I mentioned a little while ago, not only are we expecting to see the booster get some fuel, but we're also expecting the ship, if this is a true wet dress rehearsal, which it is looking like it is. So we saw that booster OLM vent start. But again, like I said earlier, not only are they fueling that, they're fueling the ship. So we need to see that pre-chill process happen on the lines that go to the ship as well. Those lines go up the tower and then across through the ship quick disconnect, which is about halfway up the tower. And if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you look on the right side of the launch tower, you'll see what looks like a little jet of white smoke coming out. That is the venting from those lines. So that is a great indication that the pre-chill has started on the ship lines and the booster lines. So we're going to wait to see that volume increase on that line, again, halfway up that tower. And we're going to wait for the volume of the venting coming from the OLM to increase in volume. And then we want to see both of those stop. And then now we start looking for that indication of those frost lines to build on the vehicles, indicating the wet dress rehearsal has really started. I mean, this is all part of the dress rehearsal. They have to do all these processes during a real launch as well. So I keep saying, you know, when the test starts. What I really mean is when they start fueling, because this is all part of the test. They have to go through all these processes, even for a real launch. So we are within the actual test as we stand now, which is really cool. So again, wet dress rehearsal, fueling this as if they were going to launch it, and then make sure they're practicing all those procedures and making sure all the technical, ground support, and vehicles are all working so that when they go for the real thing, they know what to expect. So cool stuff, and we're making progress here in today's test. I have a task here that I got to start working on for work. I'm gonna keep chatting. It'll take me probably about 5 minutes to complete. So I'll still be here with y'all. I'm just gonna multitask in the background here. I'll be right back. Testing 1 2 3. All right, sorry about that. I had a quick work call that I had to catch up with, but I am back, and I'm still multitasking. But the vent on the tower continues to go, and we can make out that OLM vent just barely under that booster quick disconnect. We can make out the OLM vent and the tower vent right now, so we're waiting to keep an eye on those things, and we're going to keep seeing as the test evolves. So like I said, just working on some other stuff for my my quote-unquote real job. So just hold tight, and we're going to keep you updated here. Okay, just wrapped up with some of that stuff that I was working on in the back end here. That OLM vent, okay, so take a close look at your screen, and I'm going to try to explain what we're seeing here. We still see that big vent at the front coming from the what we call the Pope stack. That's what we've been seeing all day, and that is kind of going up and over to the right. Now, if you look under that, you can see another set of another vent that is coming from the backside of the OLM. You can see it down near the ground level down there. That is this vent that we've been talking about this time that we hope to see the volume increase. That is what's happening right now. So we're going to keep watching that. We're going to keep continuing to see the volume increase on that vent until that vent completely shuts off. And that means that we're going into the next phase, which would be fueling. We're also keeping an eye on that vent up halfway up the tower on the right-hand side. Same thing there. We're going to watch the volume increase on that vent. Eventually that one will cut off, and that would indicate that they're fueling the ship. Waiting for the next shoe to drop. Lots of venting going on now. This is looking good. We're running at a 2.9% frames drop today. That is usually pretty bad for like a desktop stream, somebody that's streaming from home or broadband. For us, though, out here with Starlink, it's pretty good. 2.9% is not bad at all. The other night when we were down at Starbase doing the rollout stream, we had about 20% frame drops. So we should be massively better than that, which it's really funny. I can't quite figure out the consistency and why sometimes I get better performance and other times I don't. Like today, I'm in a relatively busy area. There was at least one other person out here using Starlink, and we're actually in the same pod here. So the way Starlink coverage works is it's by pod, and we are in the same pod as Starbase. So I don't know why it would be different here versus when I was at Starbase, but I don't know. Who knows? I guess that was later in the night. Maybe more people were using it for things that require more bandwidth, like videos and that type of stuff. That OLM vent in the back is really getting larger, so that's great. That's good. That's what we've been hoping to see. We even have some of that venting kind of showing up behind Starhopper, which is pretty cool to see. Some of that vapor. How's it going?
When is it supposed to launch?
March probably. First couple weeks of March if we're lucky. So getting close.
Huh. Now, when I go on the website, I'm not that proficient with computers, but I know it's Boca Chica, and it's SpaceX, and it's Starbase, right?
Yeah.
So, do you look for Starbase liftoff, or?
So there's a couple different places you can look. Nobody's going to advertise a launch date right now until there's one that's like until we're getting a lot closer. But yeah, once there's actually a date announced, you'll see it everywhere. Like the SPI tourist sites will have it. The Cameron County road closure site will mention that there's road closures for flight testing. Do you use any social media platforms?
No.
Yeah, so I was gonna like recommend like Facebook or something, but
which social media? I mean, which specific thing? Or YouTube? Or?
So I'm on YouTube, but he's wondering the best place for him to find out when a launch date is set. But I do know that SPI has like a tourism site, and I know in the past they've put launch dates on there, I believe. So I would check for like the official SPI tour site and see.
What's your YouTube?
Rocket Future.
Rocket Future.
Yep,
Gotcha.
that's me.
I think I might have seen you. We went there last Thursday.
Probably, yeah.
And saw several people, whatever you're doing here.
Yep.
For,
Live streaming.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So-
It's so there have to be a lot of people very interested in this.
There are.
You guys are trying to drum up a little business.
Yep.
Maybe?
Yep, that's a bonus for it. First and foremost, super excited by all this stuff, and I just like capturing it.
Yes.
but I would like to spend more time doing that. In order for me to spend more time doing that, I got to make some money on it.
Absolutely.
So we're hoping, but we have a small tight knit community right now. We're always growing, and there's some people that are very very generous that help us by donations and that type of stuff. So it's good.
Advertise products or something like shirts with
yeah.
your emblem on or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, we're not doing a ton of merch sales yet, but we are always trying to push more and more of them.
Yeah, I didn't expect
That'd be you?
That's me.
That's you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I didn't expect there'd be that many over there.
Oh, there's a
And
lot. Yeah.
when I was there, I noticed several solar panels powering some sort of cameras, and they were up on the property. I assume that's SpaceX. But maybe not.
Most of them aren't. Most of them are like the bigger channels that do similar to what I'm doing. There's some really big ones that draw tens of thousands of people
three
each.
of those major things.
Yeah.
One before, one right near the gantry.
Yep.
Whatever
Exactly.
that is.
So some of those are
and one on the beach aimed back at that.
right. So like some of those, there's an organization called NSF. They're really big. Another one is Lab Padre. He's a local guy that started a channel, and he has some of those down there. Those are the two biggest ones that usually have equipment down there.
Lab Padre.
Yep.
And NSF. What is
Yep.
that?
It stands for NASA Spaceflight, but they're not actually affiliated with NASA at all. But they're a great group of people that are dedicated. They've been around. They've had their channel going for 20 or 20-something years. They used to do shuttle coverage and all that stuff, and they got some of the best coverage of this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you for spending.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you.
Yep. Tony says expect the tower vent to get larger at some point soon. John Baldwin is here. Welcome, John Baldwin. He's asking, just tuning in, is this a static test and actual launch? Yeah, so no static fire today, no launch today. What we're expecting, or what we are seeing actively, is what is called a wet dress rehearsal. Basically, SpaceX is going through all the procedures that they normally would on launch day, all the way up into the point where they would launch. They are not launching today, but they're practicing all those procedures and making sure all the equipment is working as if today was a launch day. So we're seeing all that happen in front of our eyes right now. They should start to fuel this vehicle relatively soon. They've already started the process of getting the equipment ready to start loading. No problem, John. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Tony is saying the OLM venting is now decreasing. Very good, very good. We should potentially see some fuel loading here soon. So, has anybody seen anything about an MSIB today, a Marine Safety Information Bulletin? Does anybody know if one was posted for today? Do we think that, this probably would have been a good question earlier, but do we think they're using the real fuels here today, or do we think they are using liquid nitrogen? I mean, everything that I've heard, everything seems to indicate that they're using the real fuels today, but I haven't heard about a massive influx of methane tanks, and again, that we don't see that Marine Safety Information Bulletin posted. But there is a boat in the channel here, which seems to be kind of keeping people at bay. So I don't know. It probably is the real fuels. I'm just surprised at some of the steps that we usually see that we don't this time. Yazada says, looks like liquid LOX is pouring out of the OLM vent. When it stops, booster lock should start soon. Perfect. That's what we want to see. That's where we're getting to the real deal here. Everything is going as we would expect at this point. Looks like the tower vent is slowing as well. I did expect to see that tower vent increase in volume a bit. Excuse me. Maybe we'll still see that happen, but not too sure. We'll keep an eye on it. I haven't talked on commentary this long in a while. My voice isn't used to it. It's been a while since we've seen testing streams down here. The last testing we've had down here at Starbase was some static fires in December, and that is when I was up visiting family. And we did host a stream for that from our cameras that we were able to access via our buddies over at Starbnb. They provided us live views, and we had our AI assistant helping out answering any questions. But myself, I was not on those, so I'm out of practice. But I'm feeling pretty good out here, other than my voice just getting a little bit raspy. But I'm having a great time out here and really, really enjoying it. We're looking at that vent that's happening on the back of the booster and waiting for that to stop completely. I don't see the tower vent going anymore, so I'm looking to see if there's any frost lines that are going to grow on that ship. I do expect to see it on the booster first, though. Yazada says, besides this, SpaceX hopes to launch 3 Falcon 9s today. 2 of them will be returned to launch site landings at Cape Canaveral. What an impressive time we are, and SpaceX is really, really leading the forefront of all this. What a day for SpaceX. Two RTLS today? That is insane. It'd be a good day to be out on the Cape. Still got some venting going on. Waiting for that to stop.
You look like an expert.
What's up?
When's that thing launching over there?
March. That's our best guess right now.
Oh, is it?
First couple weeks of March look pretty good. That could slide. They're doing a big test over there today, but that's what we're hoping.
So what's the test?
It's called a wet dress rehearsal. They basically go through all the processes they would on a launch day,
Uh-huh.
and then stop right before launch
Okay.
to practice procedures, to make sure all the ground support equipment is working, and all that stuff. So this is like one of the last big tests before launch.
Is it anything you'll be able to see or hear? Or?
Yeah, it won't be super exciting to the average person that doesn't really know exactly what's going on.
Like
But
me?
so look over there for a second. You see how the bottom half is silver? That's the booster. With your own eyes, it might be hard. With cameras, it's easier. But that as they start fueling the vehicle, they'll go from a silver to like a pure white because it's going to grow frost all over the outside of the booster. So you'll actually see how high the fuel is loaded into the vehicle, which is pretty cool. But nothing super exciting as long as everything goes right. No expected ignitions, anything like that.
Okay. March.
Yeah, but if they're using the real fuel today, which I think we're expecting them to, that's it's a pretty big deal. I don't ever anticipate anything to go wrong with it, but it's a lot of fuel in the vehicle, and it's a pretty massive, volatile situation. But they've done it a bunch of times, and it's all been good. So we're expecting a good test today.
Do you know what time or anything?
So they're about to start fueling pretty much any minute now.
Okay.
Yeah, they just finished a lot of the pre-processes, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were starting to fuel pretty much as we speak.
So we've been here the last 2 years in the month of March,
Mm.
and we missed one of them.
One of the launches. Damn.
Yeah, and this year we got a great spot too. We're right that second camper right there.
Nice. That'll be perfect. That'll be awesome. I'll be right here for launch today, so come say hi.
So, and what are you on a stream or
Yeah, I'm on YouTube and pretty much all the platforms, Facebook, all that stuff.
what's the
Rocket Future.
rocket? Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Because there's been a couple. Well, there's a bunch of them out there.
Yep.
After we know we're gonna miss it, I get on YouTube and try to find somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is pretty cool, even to a novice like me.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool. It's been a pleasure. See ya. Give everybody an update in just a few minutes here. Nothing major to update you on yet, but I just want to keep everybody informed as they're joining us. I'm still in the background here just working on some other work, but I will make sure that I jump on camera here in just a couple minutes and give everybody an update. I'm glad it's not raining. It was a couple drops earlier in the day. Nothing too bad. I was wondering for a minute if I was gonna have to kind of protect the cameras, but right now it's good. It's quite the overcast day, but yeah, no considerable rain at this point.
They're doing something over there?
Yeah, they're doing a test today called Wet Dress Rehearsal.
Oh yeah?
So they're basically going through all the processes that they normally would do on a launch day, right up before they launch, and then obviously no launch today, but basically practice for when they actually launch.
Yeah. Do you know when that's going to be?
The real launch?
Yeah.
Best guess right now is first couple weeks of March.
Yeah.
So probably no earlier than that, but it's looking pretty good for early March.
Do you have friends that are out there close that you're talking to?
Not right now. I do have some friends that are over there, but we do a YouTube channel that's all about Starship and Starbase.
Oh, is that right?
Rockets in general, not only SpaceX.
I'm just curious. We were out there and we saw some guys that had a Utah license plate, but they were setting up a bunch of cameras and stuff right on the sand dunes, right close to the
rocket launcher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's one of a couple channels that it might be NSF or What About It or
Oh, yeah.
South Padre or probably not Lab, but yeah, there's a bunch of channels that I'll have some equipment out there.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah,
Just,
absolutely.
we were out there the other day, and they hadn't set the 2 stages yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, well, they're probably going to be doing something because you could see them standing by the other buildings.
Yeah.
And then we went back. We just happened to be in Brownsville and said, yeah, let's drive back out there. And they're both standing there. It's like, God, those guys work fast.
Yeah. They really do. It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, then we went on and looked at one of YouTube's the big thing with wheels that rolls them out there,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep. SPMT.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
I know I was, long time ago, I was over at Cape Kennedy and they were getting ready. But that big thing that they have with the tracks, it moves like
Real slow.
real slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes hours. This takes
Yeah.
about 45 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
from build site to launch site.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
It is. It's pretty cool. We're just down here to get out of the cold weather and didn't realize that was right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice surprise.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very cool.
Hey, well, thanks for the info.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Awesome. How's it going?
You're on the YouTube channel? Is that what you guys are doing?
Exactly. Yep. So
That's good. I caught up with you. I was just over at the road closure, right where they were
oh yeah. Yep.
closing the road.
Yep.
I had my first time trying to go over there, and I saw on CarPlay that it was closed, but I didn't know
How?
why,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on. If they let you through.
The
or what.
details.
I went over there. They stopped you. They just don't let you go beyond that.
Yeah.
So I'm back.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty important test here today. So, it should be a relatively tame and not, there shouldn't really be any, super exciting part of the test. But it's for the safety to keep people out because they're loading, a lot of fuel onto the vehicle.
What are
today.
What are they doing? I mean,
It's called a wet dress rehearsal. So basically, they're going through all the steps that they would for on launch day. No launch, obviously, but so fully fueling the vehicle. So a lot of potential energy involved with that. So
they're not lighting those engines.
not
are they?
today. Not today. No.
What will you be viewing? I mean,
So we can see in the camera, especially. So there's a lot of ways to tell what's happening with what's going on. Like right now, they're pre-chilling all the lines that go from like the tanks to the actual vehicle. But then the bottom part, the silver part, we'll actually see a frost line grow on that vehicle. The whole outer shell will become white, which will show you how high up on the vehicle that fuel is loaded, which is pretty cool. And then, you'll see a lot of venting and stuff like that. So but that's about it for today.
I listened to you guys last night, or whoever.
Probably
it was.
NSF, probably, right?
Was that you guys? on
Not
it?
me, but
I
probably.
mean, I was listening to
buddies
the
of mine.
channel. There's that, and there's space.com, I think, I have one.
Yep, a bunch of them. Yep.
Yeah, and I saw something that when are they scheduled to do what you're talking about?
It should be happening pretty much any time now.
Really?
Yeah. They might even be starting to load fuel. I'll take a look at the monitor here, see if it looks like it. It's hard to tell, but I don't think they've quite started loading, but it should be soon.
Really?
Yep.
I was here this morning at 8 o'clock, figuring because I had seen some words, some text going around like 10:05.
Right.
And I'm like, what's going on at 10:05? So I'm here, and nobody else is kind of here other than the fishermen.
Right.
And I thought something's up because of.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
See how there's a big plume of smoke coming out there?
Yeah,
it's not
I
smoke,
do.
but so that means that they're continuing to pre-chill the lines that go up to the Starship, the top part of the vehicle. So eventually they're going to load fuel up the tower and over to the ship, but right now they're chilling down those lines.
Ooh, wow.
Yep. Well, actually, you know what? If you don't mind, I'm going to
You do your thing.
put this camera
I don't
on.
mean
Yep.
to be bothered.
Nope. No, actually, I'm happy you're here. Ask as many questions you want. I'll just jump on camera for a second. Testing. All right, just a quick update for anybody tuning in. Cool view right now. So if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that vent that I was talking about a little while ago, halfway up the tower, that's really, really starting to go now. So that's kind of what I was hoping to see. And I was a little bit curious when that started kind of slowing down and that vent wasn't really going as much. I kind of was wondering what was happening. But this is exactly what we want to see. That is a nice big chill line coming out from the tower, which means that they're pretty much almost ready to load the Starship with fuel. So let's keep a really, really close eye on the ship and the booster to see if we start to see those frost lines grow. I think they're going to be starting to fuel here any second if they haven't already. We might already be into that process. I'll check in on now, but awesome view. Always love to see that that vapor coming off the side of the tower. I think that's one of the coolest things, especially on a real launch day. That means stuff is about to get really exciting. So again, fueling is probably about to start. Good time to start paying attention if you have this on in the background. We're going to keep you updated as they load this thing up, and we're going to see how much fuel they put in this vehicle today, and I'll keep you updated. Ask any questions that you have, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Tony says, the major venting has now started from the tower. Yep. AB is saying, I wonder why it's taking so long. You know, sometimes it happens. Tony also says the IM Falcon 9 has been delayed today. Oh, so is that no longer going today? Akram says, take me with you. I think I'm caught up on chat now. Yeah, look at that. That is such a good view. I'm going to actually start recording on my camera as well, just so we have all this so we can do a time lapse after. Okay, we are now recording. Let me make sure we're good on SD and also battery. Yeah, we're looking golden. Cool. All right, this is what we want to see here, folks. Cool.
You were just on the channel. Were you on YouTube Live?
Yep. So this camera is still live, and we still have the stream up. But I just I'll turn this camera on occasionally and talk with people and give
like
them an
you
update.
just did.
Yep.
Sure. Well,
Yep.
that's what I was doing last night. I was on, bringing in the chat side, and everybody's talking, and I didn't know who was. There seemed like there were 3 narrators.
I bet you that was NSF. Do you remember any of their names? Was it Jack and Adrian? Did a couple of them sound British?
Yeah,
Yep.
there was one guy.
That was NSF. Yep.
I thought it was like Australian or something.
Yep.
And couldn't quite understand them as I wanted to, but
Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. $236. How's it going?
What was it again? Rocket Future.
Rocket Future.
there's a live chat going on, and that could be one going in Florida.
Could be, yeah.
Kennedy.
There's a bunch of launches today.
NSF, that's you guys?
Nope, but I know those guys. They're great people.
That's that site right
Yep.
there.
Yeah, that's who you were probably listening to last night too.
And that
Wow.
they're showing it live on the.
Yep, nice and up close. That is a lot of venting. That is looking good. I love that. It's hard to tell the scale as well from back here, but those are some massive clouds. About 5 miles away from where we're standing.
Is that what it is? 5 miles?
Yep.
From here to there?
Yep. Almost exactly. That looks so cool. Checking my chat here. All right, checking in with chat. Tony says SQD fuel lines are frosting up now. Very good. Still seeing no frost line on the booster quite yet, but again, all indications are they are well within their testing now, so we should start seeing them fuel really any minute. I just really love to see the all the infrastructure active like this. Just seeing all this venting coming from everything, it makes this thing look alive. It's so cool. Yazada says both the OLM and OLIT vents are really going now. They sure are. They sure are. Man, I wish we were getting a static fire or something today. I'm ready for some ignition soon. But we should have a launch soon enough, so I'll get my fix. Okay, that looks good. That looks good.
Based on what you're doing with what they're doing with the testing, what do you think the whole timing will be?
For today's test specifically?
Well, all around for let's say a launch. When do you think? What's the
So so we have some indication of what the test today will be, but once the test is done and over with, we'll be able to kind of look back at it and say, oh, it looks like they completed everything, or oh, that didn't look like they completed everything, they might have to do another one. So it really depends on how everything goes, but hypothetically, if they fully fuel both vehicles and it all looks good, they might be able to check the wet dress rehearsal requirement off the list and move on to get the launch license, and go for a launch in March. It's possible they might.
be a March launch possible?
I think it's pretty likely.
Early March.
Early to mid.
48th.
It's possible.
I know,
Second week
I'm
might
just-
be a little better,
I'm
but
just
it's possible. It's possible, especially if today goes well. And whether or not they have any other testing to do, we don't know. We think there's one engine on the upper stage, Starship, that they haven't fired. We don't know that for sure, but we're pretty sure. And if that's the case, they may decide that they want to do one more static fire, but they might also not. So, but so far everything is looking good for March early.
Those have those 33 Raptor engines in
The
it?
bottom part, yeah.
Really?
Yep, 33.
Have you been here, obviously, for a launch?
Yeah. Yep.
Of that magnitude?
Yep. Yep.
And you feel it here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's wild.
You hear it here?
Yeah.
You wear
yeah.
your
First time wasn't too bad. The second time was a lot louder, and I was like, I should be wearing earplugs or
Really?
something. Yeah. Yeah.
Not everybody here obviously is wearing earplugs.
Yeah.
So it's,
I don't think it's. I personally probably don't think it's doing a lot of damage, because it was really only for a couple like instantaneous moments
Sure.
at the peak where I was like, that's loud. But again, that's only for like a second. I think if that was sustained, but it ramps up, and I think the ramp up is fine. I think it's just that little peak that lasts
so
for a couple
you're not
seconds.
Just hearing boom, and then they fire, and you're off.
Yeah, no, it's a deep low rumble, and then you hear these like cracks. It sounds like the atmosphere is like being torn apart. It's just these really loud cracks, and that's just basically just from the engines and the air interacting with it. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. The noise is unlike anything that you could explain.
They had one blow up here, didn't they?
Yeah, so when they did they used to do tests of just the top part, the Starship, and they would launch it, belly flop, and land.
Oh yeah.
So they had a bunch of those blow up, and then the two full stacks. So 2 of these full stacks have launched. The first launch, it got plenty far out into the Gulf, and the vehicles wouldn't detach like they were supposed to, so they exploded. And then on the most recent test, again, it got way out into the Gulf. They successfully decoupled. Eventually, they want to bring the booster back, but this time, it did its job. The booster got Starship as far as the way it needed. It decoupled, then the booster blew up after the fact, and Starship made it past Florida. So this time, we want to see the booster do its job, deliver Starship as high as it can. Starship disconnects, keeps going. Booster comes back, but softly lands in the Gulf, just as a test.
On a platform out there.
It'll just land in the Gulf. It won't even be on a platform or anything, just to test it. And then we want to see Starship make it almost a full orbit around Earth and land off the coast of Hawaii.
I saw one, I think, on YouTube. I think it was, or it made it horizontal.
Yeah.
Is that what it did? And then it was coming down.
Yeah, those were the belly
and
flop
then
tests
it
early
went
on.
like that
Yeah.
again, and then it
Yep.
blew up.
We got a nice Coast Guard ship coming in. I'm gonna check in on my stuff here. All right, let's see what we got. I think we might see. We see some interesting venting from the ship disconnect. I don't know if that looks normal. Let me know what y'all think. Any of y'all in chat who are used to seeing these tests, there's a lot of venting coming from where it looks like the ship is connected to the SQD arm. And I don't know if that looks completely normal, but maybe it is. So, cool. It definitely looks like they're well on their way, so cool. Yep. All right. I appreciate the update. Thomas is saying there is a new vent there. That explains it. So that all of that venting that we see near the QD arm, the ship QD arm, apparently there is a new vent there, which explains what we're seeing. I'm hearing an update that the timeline for actually fueling, we still might be have some wait here. We're still going, but it sounds like maybe they might wait a little bit longer before they start fueling this thing. But let's keep our eye on it. We're getting close here. website, and then we're on pretty much all the social medias and everything, YouTube, all that stuff. Dave Roberts is here. Dave, welcome. Dave, good to see you. Dave says, hi, Andrew. Good to hop in again. We're currently watching from Spain. Well, I hope you are enjoying watching the Wet Dress Rehearsal from Spain. Hopefully see you again soon, Dave. Thomas is saying all vent stopped. Prop load should be starting. Yazada also says fog is rolling in from the sea. And Tony is saying yes to Thomas's statement saying that prop load should be starting. There is definitely a bit of a fog layer for sure. The build site, the production site, is starting to look a little bit hazy. So we're just going to cross our fingers here and hope we get some decent visibility through the duration of this test. We have lost a little bit of that that viewing quality. We were able to kind of make out the chines and everything earlier. At this point, it's not quite as clear based off of the fog that's rolling in. Yazada says lots of vapor coming from the SQD arm. That is very true. And that vent is going again as well. So I don't know if I would expect to see the start of this until we see that venting on the right stop again, but we'll see. I have a reason to believe we could still be a little bit a ways away, but I think we're still making progress here. A couple drops of rain coming down. Worst case scenario, if it starts raining, which I don't think it's going to, but if it really starts raining, I might have to adjust some cameras and stuff. But if yeah, we'll address that if we need to, but we should be all right.
You're on delay.
Yeah.
So if I join, you'll be filling me in on when to come down here.
Absolutely.
Are you part of a YouTube channel?
I am a part of a YouTube channel, not one of the bigger ones, but it's called Rocket Future.
Okay.
Rocket Future?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just brought his YouTube site up on right now, so I'm watching what he's watching and listening to him.
There you go. NSF, nice. Love those guys. Good people.
Cool.
Tony is saying the ship has a frost line. All right, let's take a close look at the ship. If that is true, then, which I believe to be true, I think I'm seeing that as well, Tony. Right above the QD arm, we might have a frost line on the ship, which would indicate that they're starting to load the ship. Detroit says Deluge bone and the whole stack is launched from there. Space Junkie says, thank you, Andrew, for your great coverage once again. My pleasure. Not a problem at all. Thanks for joining in. Ah, Flaming Grasshopper. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? They say, Andrew, Amy and I are watching from Lake Tahoe. We hope to make it down again for the next launch. What's your guess as to when that'll be? I would say the first couple weeks of March is looking pretty good. As you are well aware, we may see that slip. We may see that change. But as of right now, the early March is looking pretty good. Early, middle March. Yeah, folks, we're definitely losing some of our viewing quality here based off of this fog layer coming in. I feel like this happens not all the time, but pretty frequently. We're waiting out here for hours with decent viewing, and then all of a sudden the fog rolls in when things start to get exciting. But that's okay. We're out here. Detroit says, look up in chat. Oh, I missed something, huh? Oh, here we go. Detroit Mission Control must be sung. Booster bone boost. that makes so much more sense now. Putting all the pieces together. Putting all the pieces together now. I don't know if I have the singing voice at the moment to make it through that. Got a little bit of sprinkling coming from the sky here. Cover up some of these cameras. Yep. They still have to fuel it, but won't be much to see from here. But it's a pretty good test, pretty important test, but not the most exciting from here. No ignition or anything. Rocket Future. Yep. There you go. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Early mid-March looks pretty good so far. Yeah, no problem. Sing for us, buddy. So that'll happen at some point. I don't know if it's gonna happen today. Oh, I just dropped my keyboard, and hopefully I'm not about to accidentally shut off stream or something. No, we're good. We're good. All right, I found one cover for one of the cameras. Now I need to find another one for the other one. This will work. Tower restarted venting and ship fill has stopped. Yeah, I heard that we might be looking at about a half hour until we see it start to really fuel.
I mean, I was hearing you, and then
I'm not sure. Make sure that we don't have any audio coming from anywhere else. Sorry, folks. I'll fix the camera. I just put a cover on it, and I just bumped it out a little bit. So let me fix that. I looked at it. It should just be fine, but maybe it's just the delay. Rocket Future.
That's why I can't find it.
You're looking on YouTube?
Yeah.
Huh. I can help you in a second. Let's see.
Yeah, I was looking for rocket fuel before.
Yeah. There you go. Top one. Or start that one there.
This one.
Yep. All right, our cameras are now covered. We should be good for now, unless it starts downpouring, and then we'll have to actually move the cameras into the Jeep, but that should be fine. Let me check the hourly weather here. Hourly weather. South Padre Island. Okay, looking at our hourly weather here, it says 0% precipitation. So this should just be a small drizzle. not too concerned. Checking in. Liquid Courage. Detroit, normally I would say absolutely yes, but right now I am taking a little bit of a break from the liquids until April, until the eclipse. Just doing a little bit of a health thing here. Jamie says, so is it to test? So is the test no good? By what time is the test over? So I think maybe another half hour or so, and we might start to see this thing get fueled up. Like I said, though, unfortunately, this fog is making it really hard on us. So we're gonna have to see what we can and can't see here shortly. Yazada says they seem to have halted propellant loading right after it started. Detroit says, we all know you keep a pony keg in the back of your Jeep. I wish. Yazada says fog gradually getting worse and worse. Yeah, it's unfortunate, really. This happened more than once. We decent quality, waiting for the test to start. Test starts, and the fog rolls in. But we'll see. It could come and go. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it actually looks like it could be raining to my which way? West. But I don't know if that's just denser fog or if that's rain over there. Jamie says, so probably around 6. If they get started in the next half hour or so, they should be over by 4:30 or 5, I would think. Tony says there appears to be a leak in the SQD arm near the tower. The steel framework is getting frosty. That's what I was thinking as well, Tony, but I think somebody did mention that we have a new vent there, maybe. So I don't know if it was a leak or if it's a new vent just venting onto the tower. But I was actually thinking the same there. Yeah, so it's 3 o'clock Central Time here. Hopefully see some. We'll see if they start refueling here in about a half hour. This fog is a killer, though. But nothing we can do about that. We'll just try to bring you the best views we can while it's foggy. Oh, Tony says the methane subcooler have shut down. Interesting. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if we keep seeing this test continue.
You have the schedule of what they're physically doing over there?
I don't have a schedule, but we know they're going for a wet dress today. So, and we can tell what they're doing by what's happening over there. So when we saw those big clouds earlier, we know that was one of the steps that they do before actually loading it. But now somebody's mentioning that one of the subcoolers, so basically some of the equipment that they need to load the methane on board, that equipment may have stopped. So that could change whether or not we expect to actually see this test or not. It still very well could, but yeah, things are looking,
After, let's assume they do their test today and the road is open tomorrow. That means I could go over there tomorrow,
Yep.
as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, yep. They could decide to use that closure for another test or something as well.
Sure.
But yeah, it's very possible that they could decide not to use the road closure tomorrow. It'll probably open by 5 or 6 tonight. But yeah, tomorrow. Sometimes the road closure will start, and then like an hour or something into it, they decide that maybe we're not going to use it, and then they end up closing it. They're
What
opening
if I'm
it.
over there? Could I be over there when they decide to close the road and tell me to get out? Or
Yeah.
how is that?
Yeah, they'll tell you to leave.
I've never been there, so is it just one road going through SpaceX?
Yeah, pretty much just one.
And then I park on the side and just look what I do, and then they say, hey, we're going to do some tests, get out.
Pretty much, exactly.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, even if you get onto the beach, they'll drive up and down the beach to make sure everybody's off.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is is there, you got any recommendations that I should or shouldn't do if I'm going to go over there?
There's not like a ton between here and there to like see or do. You'll drive by the port of Brownsville.
I don't want. I have nothing to do with Brownsville. I'm just going to Boca.
Yeah, you just have to cut
And
through
go right
Brownsville
there.
pretty much. Yeah.
But when I'm over there,
Oh yeah.
just
You'll see the Starbase sign. That's like going to be the first thing you see. You can pull over there, take pictures.
there's no tourist, nothing over there. You just go over there on your own
Yep.
and take pictures. It's not like
Yep.
come here visitor center.
No, but there's a place down there called Rocket Ranch. If you look them up, they're doing tours all the time. So you could do a tour through Rocket Ranch, and they could give you all the
Before
information.
I go
so-
there, I mean that's somewhere else.
Yeah, it's on the way there, and then they bring you there on their bus.
Oh really?
Yeah, so check that out and see when they're doing a tour.
Is that worth doing?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Definitely recommend that. So that's called Rocket Ranch.
Okay.
Highly recommended.
Okay. And so they have a facility before you get there.
Yep.
And, okay.
Yep, on Highway 4. Well, just off of Highway 4, on a side road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's no, I mean, as far as actual restrooms or nothing, there's nothing there, right?
Yeah, so there's a Stripes on the way. So I recommend hitting the Stripes before you start heading down
Oh
there.
yeah, right.
It's at the end of
At
Highway
that corner,
4.
I was there.
Yep.
And then
Oh yeah.
the
Yep.
road
you would have saw that.
closed beyond, a little about a mile down the road
Exactly.
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll get over there. Obviously I'll get over there before they launch.
Yeah.
That
If
should.
they'll be open this. They probably won't close the road this weekend at all. I think they can only close like 2 weekends out of the year or something.
And you'd also probably recommend go when it's not as cloudy and sunny, so you can get some
Good pictures. Yeah. Once you're over there though, unless it's like really really densely foggy, you can still see everything even if it's foggy because you get pretty close to it. So.
Really?
Unless it's like really really foggy. But if it was like this, you would see everything still.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
I'll be darned. So it's all right. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine if it's that big from here, how big it really is.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean,
Even when you're there, it doesn't look as big as it really is because it's so big. You're pretty close, but you're a lot further than it looks. So it's kind of a weird optical illusion. It doesn't look as big as it really is
Right.
until you see somebody right next to it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that,
Well, I saw your name here on the side. Was it
Andrew.
Andrew?
Yep.
Andrew, nice meeting you.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
And look forward to listening to you.
Sounds good. Sounds
So,
good.
Well, you'll be out here next when they do another test.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
when do you think you'll be out here?
Well, if they don't get through what they want to today, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it again tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised to be out here again tomorrow. They also have some road closures scheduled for next week. Don't
they
know
do?
Yeah. So don't know what they are for yet, but so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm out
Would
here.
would I be able to find those out on the SpaceX site or
Best place is if just Google SpaceX road closures, and then
SpaceX road closures?
yep, and one of the first links, probably the first link, will link to a Cameron County government site that will give you all the road closures.
Okay.
Yep.
Plus, actually, what I did when I was going to go over there, like I say, I just for the sake of it, just to put in direct, even though I can do it,
Yeah.
I put it in here, as directions to there, and it said can't give them to you because road closures.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was real or not,
Yep.
based on what they were telling me.
Right. How's it going?
Hi.
How are you?
Great, thanks.
Nice.
Always nice to see the other spaceflight nerds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I came here from the Netherlands
Nice.
to nerd out.
Nice. When did you get here?
Arrived here yesterday, but I went to Houston first.
Oh, cool.
So I was 2 days in Houston Space Center.
Very good. Very cool. Did you do any tours or anything around Houston
Yeah.
Space Center?
I did both the VIP tours.
Cool.
Through Mission Control and the Astronaut Training Center.
Nice.
So,
And you got to see the Saturn V and everything?
yeah, everything.
Cool.
So everything.
Did you talk to anybody in the Saturn V building by any chance?
No.
Okay, because one of my buddies works over there.
Both the VIP tours, paying for them hurt a bit, but
Yeah. They're worth it. They're good.
So awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
The timing was great. 2 astronauts were getting pulled out of the pool when we were there.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Neutral buoyancy lab.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
is this a work related, or is this a hobby, or is this what is this?
Somewhere
what-
in between the two. Somewhere in
Huh?
between. Yeah. So I have a full-time job that's not related to this, but I started this up, and you know, I have some people that are able, you know, they support me on the channel through donations and stuff. So we there's a little bit of an income stream from it, and you know, just trying to build it up and trying to get out here as much as possible and show everybody what's going
Okay,
on.
so you're able to come and go as you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was
Can I
looking
take a
for.
picture of you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just gonna check into the chat. Tony says indications that Propellant has stopped. The Pope stack has stopped as well. Flaming Grasshopper says, "Hey Andrew, did you have that party at Hopper House with all the YouTubers or whatever that was, or is that coming up in the future?" That is coming. Good question. That is coming up on April 20th. So we're doing that at a big event called the Gateway Awards on April 20th, and it's supposed to be a celebrate of all of the people that are down here documenting what's happening with Starship and Starbase. So actually, nominations open today. I have to get back at some point to actually send out those links and everything. But yeah, nominations open today for that, so keep an eye out for the links to that on my X and everything. Tony says the rocket is so big you need an Eiffel Tower next to it to compare. Absolutely, that would help for the scale of this thing. Andres says, what is happening with your AI colleague? Is she retired or just not in use when you're actually here? Right now, she is just not in use when we're out here in the field. And she is undergoing upgrades. We are working on some upgrades for her. At some point, she would kind of be involved with some of these streams where I'm out here as well. But not. I don't think we'll even have the avatar up or on screen or anything for these types of streams. But she'll help with things like thanking people and yeah, you'll see. We have more coming. Definitely not retired though. Okay, so we're having a little bit better viewing conditions now, but they will come and go as the fog rolls in and out here. I do see another big patch of fog that might roll into. Actually, I can't tell which way it's going right now. It may be. We might be in the clear for a little bit, but just hold tight. We'll see. But we can see a little bit better now. We can even see some of those chines there. I'm not seeing any frost lines yet, so we do think that maybe they've paused operations for now. And we'll see if they pick back up in the next 20 minutes or so. And if not, we'll just hold tight and see what happens. I'm going to take a quick drink of water here. Oh, let's see. All right, I am going to take a 5 or so minute break here on commentary. There's some work that I have to do again, so I'm going to kind of step off of commentary and go into the Jeep and work on the laptop here for about 5-10 minutes. But if you have any questions or anything, feel free to put those in the chat, and then I'm going to come back and answer those for you shortly. So just a few minutes break here, and then I'll be back with you in just a bit. TBD. Not entirely sure. It definitely looks like it didn't follow the schedule that they're hoping to. So I don't know if they ran into issues or something. We're not sure. And whether or not they actually continue, we're not sure yet.
But today was fueling it because they weren't going to.
No
start an
ignition
engine,
tonight.
right?
Not
Okay.
tonight. Not today.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right, I just wrapped up with that work that I had to do. Checking in first. I'll check in the chat, but I'm just checking in on what's happening here from what I can see. I'm not seeing... we actually get some better viewing back now. I don't see any venting from the tower. It looks like... I think the OLM vent is still going. Is that correct? I don't see any frost lines growing. Back to the chat. It doesn't look like we have any additional questions or anything in chat. So we're just still holding tight. Not sure what the update is. The tower is going again at this point. So we've been here many times in this position where we knew that there was a test scheduled. We start to see these processes start, and sometimes we see them pause or hold or even abort. And we don't know which of those options we're currently seeing. So we're just holding tight. We still may see the wet dress rehearsal that we're expecting to see today. We might not. But we're going to hold out here for a while longer to see what we may see or not. So thanks for hanging in. We'll give you as many updates as we can get for you.
Are they thinking it's gonna go up or not?
Today, no.
No.
No. Hopefully in March.
Oh, in March.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's your channel? YouTube or?
YouTube primarily, but we kind of multi-stream to everything. The channel's called Rocket Future.
We'll check you out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Work. Detroit just has visions of me in the back of the Jeep with a keg or something. Not now, but maybe in April. I wonder if it'd be legal for me to bring like a keg to the Starship 3 launch. Probably not. The conditions are clearing up, though, so if they end up going back through their processes and continue to go through their wet dress today, again, that's a big if at the moment, but if they do that, we have some better viewing conditions. Again, that fog has rolled out for now. Tony's saying the vents near the grid fins are all open. Gotcha. Interesting. Breeze is picking up here. A little bit of rain going on. Nothing too bad yet. Nothing to worry about with the cameras quite yet. But like I said, if it does start raining, we're going to have to adjust some cameras pretty quickly. But I think we're okay so far. Yeah, we're looking good. Depress has ended, says Tony. Yazada says Nightbot told them to say hey Detroit. It actually feels like it's gonna rain. I don't expect any real considerable rain, but it feels like that with the wind and the everything. Feels like a front is coming through or something, kind of. The outer perimeter road stop is now reopened. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let me jump in front of the camera here and give some info. Give an update. Oh, my camera got a little bit bumped here. outer perimeter road stop is now reopened, says Tony. Wow, the exposure on this really. Let me fix that before we go to that camera. Studio full with commentary. Let's make some adjustments here. There we go. That was from NSF. Gotcha. So, all right, quick update for y'all folks here. So again, we're waiting to see whether or not this wet dress rehearsal today still is going to happen. It does appear, from externally at least, we don't know what's happening internally, but externally it looks like that maybe SpaceX hit some road bumps on the wet dress rehearsal today, and they may be in some sort of pause or a hold in this process, or it's possible that they may have aborted the test for today. There is an indication from the community, and it sounds like on the NSF feed, it looks like maybe that outer roadblock may have opened. And if that's the case, that would indicate that they may be done with the testing opportunity for today. We're not going to say that for sure yet. We could see that roadblock reestablish, but that is a pretty big change in our kind of our thoughts on whether this test is going to happen today. For the duration, it was happening really slowly, and then we started seeing all that venting, and that was heading in the right direction. We saw the tower start to vent. That was heading in the right direction. Everything stopped venting. Again, that was a good step towards the wet dress, and we maybe even saw some loading start on the ship, but that only happened for a moment, and then that's where everything kind of started heading in the opposite direction of what we wanted to see. We saw the loading stop, saw venting restart, and now at this point, it sounds like the outermost road closure may have been opened. So we're gonna take a quick eye on that. If the other road closure is open, then we're pretty much gonna call it. It's not impossible. Let's see, what time is it here right now? It is 3:31 Central Time. I think they have a road closure until 8 p.m. Generally speaking, we don't see them do a lot of testing near or after sunset. But hypothetically, if they really wanted to, they could probably go to the pad. If they need to fix something, fix it, reestablish those roadblocks, and continue the testing up until 8 p.m. tonight. I don't anticipate that happening. I think what we do here, I think our plan of action is to hang out here for another 20 or 30 minutes and see what else changes. If that furthest roadblock stays open, or if any of the other roadblock opens, I say we call it for the day. That way, if we need to be back here tomorrow, we'll be fresh and have some time to go home and relax a bit today and get ready for tomorrow. But if in the next 20, 30 minutes things look like they're heading back towards testing, we'll stay here for the duration of it. But that's kind of where we're at right now. That's kind of the plan of action moving forward. So over the next little bit, I'll keep you all updated, and then we'll make some decisions here. Looking into the chat, Detroit is Andrew secretly hoping it will rain beer. Wouldn't that be something? Tom is saying, is that one of the one at Oklahoma Ave? It may be. I'm not positive on that. But if anybody, Tony, if you know, is that the roadblock on Oklahoma? Tony is saying, according to NASA spaceflight NSF, the roadblock has moved back to the normal location after small prop load on ship before stopping. Right now, they are not in a configuration for a full wet dress rehearsal. That makes sense. That aligns with where I think we're at as well. And Thomas is reporting that the ship is depressing. So not only is the ship depressing, but I am as well. So we'll see what's happening here, but I think we're winding down here. Forgive the camera for a moment here, guys. I'm just readjusting everything. All right, we need to go a little bit to the center. That should be better. Yeah, there we go. Tony's going off to the Falcon 9 launch. And also says the OLM now depressing. And Thomas is also going to the Falcon 9 launch. Yep, I think that's a good plan, folks. See you later, Thomas. For anybody else, so it's 3:34. Let's say give it 10 minutes, but I think we are pretty certain of an aborted test here. So let's give it 10, see what's happening, and then we will probably start breaking things down. But let's just hang out for a few more minutes here. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, Tom. You too. My pleasure, Tony. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. And right back at you. You too. So we're going to give it to 3:45, and then we're going to call it 3:45. That is a lot of venting. That is a lot of venting. Wait. We could just hear that from here. Did something just happen over there? Wait, there was a deluge test, folks. We could hear that from here. All right, guys. Tune in. All right, if you were just hanging in the background, we were just talking about how we were hoping for a wet dress today, and things were winding down. We said that we were going to hang out for a few more minutes, and we were going to wrap things up. And then I saw a ton of what looked like venting coming from the GSE in that area. And it looked like just like this huge increase in venting coming from ground support equipment, coming from the OLM vents. I couldn't exactly tell where it was coming from. And it kind of billowed up further into the air than I expected in a way that was pretty concerning. So I was actually about to pull up the NSF feed and see what was going on over there. And I had no idea what was going on. And then I heard it, and I had no idea what on earth we could have heard unless there was something that ruptured and there was like this, big outgassing of, I don't know, liquid oxygen or something. But then I just looked on the NSF feed and it looks like they tested the water deluge system. And I did not expect to be able to hear that system so loudly from 5 miles away. That was louder than some of the static fires, not the big static fires, but back in the day when we would get those single engine static fires. That was louder than some of those single engine static fires. So it looks like they just tested the water deluge system, the booster bidet. So obviously underneath the booster, they have that new plate that they installed, the steel pancake, as we like to call it, where they basically inject water, very, very high pressures, straight up and out from underneath the pad to absorb some of the energy that's coming from the booster. So it looks like they just did one of those tests here. So that was really cool. At least we got something out of today's test. So I'm going to check back in. I'm going to go back on the NSF feed and stuff and take a look at what happened there. But that was super unexpected. I actually thought something had went wrong. I thought a tank burst or something. But sounds like a water deluge system test. So I guess, let's hang out a little bit longer just to make sure that nothing else is going on. But that was cool. That was something. That was something at least. That was cool. Could you see it on stream here? I mean, I know you could, but how well could you see it? How's it going?
Fine, thank you.
What's going on?
Is that test of water?
Yeah, so they were hoping to do a wet dress today. I don't think.
Wet dress rehearsal?
Yeah, wet dress rehearsal, so fully fuel the vehicle and stuff. It looks like maybe they ran into some issues. They were supposed to, but I don't think they're doing it anymore. But they did just a water. Huh?
Talk slow.
One more time.
Talk slow. You talk very fast.
Oh, got it.
French.
So, we were hoping that they would do the wet dress rehearsal, but I don't think they're doing it anymore today. But they did test the water deluge system. So we could actually hear that. Did you hear that? Yeah. So we don't know if they're going to do any more testing or not today. But we think that the main test that they wanted to do today, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
Do you think it's open the road tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect it to probably, unless something unexpected changes, I would expect it would open in the next hour or two.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yep.
Good.
Is
Yep.
it possible to
Yeah,
to go tonight?
I rec-
Chica Beach.
I recommend it.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yes, I going to the last night.
You did?
Yes,
Nice.
I'm from Canada. I go to take a plane of the Dallas.
Mm.
Of Dallas, I take a car just to go just to here.
Cool.
9,000 miles.
1,000
Wow.
kilometer, yeah.
Wow.
Not in miles. I don't know how.
In miles,
A lot.
a lot, yes.
700 miles.
Oh, more. Yeah,
More.
yeah,
And the last night, I see that at the house at Rocket Garden
Mhm.
and Boca Chica.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Today I'm going to on the road. The cops stopped me.
Yeah.
Return. Oh fuck.
Yep. Yep.
It's very beautiful.
Cool.
I miss the Deluge water.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I miss in the 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I just listened. Oh, what
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. I'm surprised we could hear it so clearly from here. It was impressive. Impressive.
Yes. A strong song.
Yeah.
Ouais.
It's
Yeah. Loud. Yeah.
strong.
Ouais, je pensais que c'était un orage.
No, moi, je so j'ai juste I think it's the booster test.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one booster.
Yeah.
Bon, on va peut-être ouvrir à soir. On va checker ça.
Il dit que dans 2 heures à peu près.
Ouais.
Ouais.
On va souper, puis,
Yazada, yeah, we did see that. We did see that. It was cool. We heard it and we saw it.
Oh, you have a live?
OK.
I look the. You know what is it? One second. I'll
Mhm.
show you the.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not good with the name.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo Lisoire, you know what is it?
No, no.
And Journal of the Space. No?
I will look though. I will look.
Yes.
Mm.
You look. And he talked of the U.S. man
Mm.
and take a video for him.
Cool.
It's not you.
Not me. Not
No.
me.
Parce qu'il parle, il y a des Américains qui prennent des vidéos puis des photos puis ils envoient à lui puis ils donnent tout le temps leur nom. Fait que je pensais que c'était un d'eux autres. Quand j'ai vu toutes les caméras, j'étais
Ouais.
je vais aller le voir pour la fun. J'aurais reconnu le nom. Mais quand je regardais sa Rocket Future,
Mm-hmm.
j'étais comme non, je connais pas. Yes. You
Very
like
cool.
this?
Oh yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
It's awesome.
I'm come of Canada just for it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
5,000 miles.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
The last night in Boca Chica Beach, I see the Chinese guys
Mm.
come of Chinese just for this.
Yeah, I think I met them today.
Yes.
They were here.
With
Yeah.
the
Oh,
five,
yeah?
five girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, il était là le matin.
Ouais.
What time he closed the Boca Chica Beach?
What time they close it this morning?
Yes.
Around 8 or 9.
Ah, OK.
Yeah,
OK.
yeah.
On se prépare à temps.
On aurait pu, mais on n'a pas voulu.
Non, c'est ça. Ben, on aurait pu.
On aurait pu, mais on
Si
serait
on serait arrivé puis il l'aurait fermé tout de
On
suite.
l'avait dit aux Chinois, j'étais pas être là vers 7 h demain
Ouais.
matin. On l'a pas fait.
Non, ça se levait à 7 h. C'est pas grave, on va essayer de
It's
dire
too
à
much
soir.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The new eBay.
Mega Bay.
Very fast.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
very big.
Yep.
She doesn't like this, but
Bon, non.
she liked my trip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair, fair.
It's grandiose.
Big. It's big.
Very
Do
cool.
you know how the guys we have the house there?
Yeah.
How is coming at the house?
I
It
think.
has no road.
Yeah, I think they're mostly abandoned. I don't think.
Ah, abandoned,
Yeah,
yeah?
I think so.
Then-
Yeah.
Ah ouais?
Yeah, not used at
Okay.
least. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Maybe the yellow one, but I haven't seen. I don't know.
I look on the Google map and I search the road.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the road.
You can
I
drive
think
on
it
the
has
beach.
the helicopter padding.
Maybe.
I think.
And
not sure.
Or a boat.
from boat
Yes,
and
boat,
and
probably.
drive on beach as well.
Swim.
Oh,
Yes,
on
well.
the beach.
Yep. Yep.
It's a island.
I think it's connected.
No, it's a highland. Doesn't connect. Doesn't connect.
Up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Boca Chica Beach and rolled on the. Check it.
Yep.
I think it's the Boca Chica Road. I think it's closed for the car, but
The
no.
beach isn't. No. Well, so during the testing, it's all closed. But when it's open, you can drive on the beach.
If you have a car for this, if you want, go on the ride on the beach.
Yep. Yeah, I do it all the time.
The
in this.
cops, you don't go fuck up.
Nope.
Fuck
It's
up with you.
allowed. Just careful not to get stuck.
Yeah, because the sun.
Yeah.
Is it's not hard. Is the
Yeah.
fluffy?
Yeah, sometimes. Depends on the conditions. This has no problem. It's
yeah,
good.
You have a big car.
Some
It's
some
25?
cars.
No.
Yeah.
28.
I forget. Probably 20. I forget.
28-5.
Got it. 20.
Yes. Hey, thanks, man.
Cool.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And good luck with your live.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Tony missed the water deluge. Pretty cool. It was really cool. I was very surprised to hear it so loudly here, Tony. It was really cool. Came back from a bio break. Cool. It was at 342 on NSF. I'm definitely gonna have to go back. It's kind of lower than the Pope stack. I think we're probably gonna wrap things up now. How's everything doing with road closures and stuff? Let me myself. I'll tune into some of the feeds and see what's going on and check in, and I'll be right back with our plan. Boca Chica Beach is now open. 1 minute ago. All right, that's official then. Let me jump in front of the camera here, and I'll give you a final update. All right, so just 1 minute ago, I got the text on my phone that Boca Chica Beach is now open. So that is a confirmation that they are done with the testing for today. So we were hoping to see a wet dress rehearsal. We saw them prepare pretty much all the way up to the point of fueling and maybe even a little bit of fueling on the ship. And then they stopped and started reverting. And that's when we started feeling like they might have run into some problems. And even earlier than that, when the test was delayed, we thought they might have been running into problems. But it's official now. It sounds like they're done testing for the day. So we're going to start wrapping things up here. Really cool surprise water deluge test at the end there. That was fun to see. So road closure tomorrow is still scheduled. I'm sure they're going to go take a look at whatever they have to take a look at to figure out what went wrong today, if they weren't able to complete the test that they wanted to. And if it's something easy for them to resolve, then they'll probably get right back on it tomorrow. I should be here again for whatever happens tomorrow. If they try for the wet dress rehearsal again, I should be here. Work is definitely a thing that I have to pay attention to and be actively involved with, obviously. So I was able to get a lot done this morning, and I was able to get a lot done here while I was chatting with y'all. But tomorrow I'm just gonna have to see how the day looks and see how meetings are, and I have deliverables and stuff. So what I'm basically getting at is I'm probably gonna push the stream tomorrow as late as possible. So today we started a little bit before we even started seeing the OLM start to vent. Tomorrow I'll probably wait until we see the OLM vent going, because I need to make as much of the day uninterrupted as possible for work, and then even when I'm here I will still be working. So that's the plan for tomorrow, just so y'all know. But that was fun regardless. We didn't get the test that we wanted, but we did get a water deluge test, and we had a lot of fun hanging out here, and we talked to dozens and dozens of people. So it was good. A lot of fun. It's what they call winter Texan season down here right now. And whenever we do these streams during winter Texan season, we have all these people coming up and talking to us and asking questions. It's just great. I really, really enjoy it. It's some of the most fun streams that I have down here. So I appreciate all y'all for hanging out here today. We had a good stream. Thanks everybody for being members to this channel. Huge shout out to Andras for the gifted subs, gifted members on the channel today. That was super helpful and very generous of you. Everybody who did a super chat today, we appreciate you very much. Anybody who just commented, shared, liked, or just hung out and chat with us and enjoyed what we were seeing here at Starbase today, we appreciate you just as much as well. So I think that's all I got today. I'll start breaking things down slowly. I'm going to leave you with some live views for a few minutes while I start breaking down the stuff that is less essential. I'll break down the mic, I'll break down the second camera, and eventually I'll switch y'all over to the ending screen, and then we'll cut it off. But you'll probably have live views for just a few more minutes here. But that's all I got. Thanks, everybody. My name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We'll see you next time, and peace out. Tony, that's a great idea. I actually just found my my business cards, so I will start handling these out down here. That's a really, really good idea. Everybody's always asking what the channel name is and stuff, so I will do that. I will do that. Okay, I'm gonna break down the mic. I'm gonna break down our second camera and tripod and stuff. So I'll talk to y'all next time. Enjoy the last few minutes of these live views, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. So see ya.